Hey, badass business owners. My name is Tammy, and I'm here to help you grow your business, but more importantly, grow those profits. And today, what we're going to talk about is how to pay yourself correctly in your small business. Now, I understand that there might be a few of you out there that want to reinvest every dime that your business makes into the business so you can grow it. And I'm not talking to you. You go for it, but I will give you a word of caution if you're doing that. Pick a short period of time that you plan to do that, because if you don't follow some of the things that we're going to talk about today, you're going to find out that when you're ready to start paying yourself, you're going to forget some of these key things that we're going to talk about. So how is it that you are supposed to pay yourself in your business? Well, the first answer is it depends, but I'm going to get to that here in a minute. The main thing that we want to do is we want to figure out, what is it that you're trying to get? Are you trying to make $500 a week? Are you trying to make $5,000 a month? What is that number that you're trying to make sure that you can build your business around so that you can pay you? And let's just say that the business is making some money, but you just don't know how you're supposed to do it. Well, the first thing you've got to understand is that there are two jobs that you have in your business, and there's two different ways that you get paid in your business. The first thing that you do in your business, for the vast majority of you, you are an employee of your business. Sure, you might not be on any kind of payroll, but let's face it, without you, nothing's getting done. You are the employee. So it's important that we make sure that your business is capable of paying you as an employee in your business. And we're going to go over an example of that here in a moment. The second thing that you need to realize is that you get paid as the business owner, because not only are you the employee of the business, but you are the owner of the business. And therefore, you, the owner, also needs to get paid in what we call an owner's draw. That's going to be the money you take out of the profits. If your business is not profitable, the business owner, you, should not get paid. The business owner, you, might just say, I'm going to put all those profits back into the business. But as long as the employee, you, is getting paid. And that's what we want to keep in mind is, first, how do you make sure that you get paid as the employee in the business? And then second, how do you make sure you build a business that gives you a profit? And then how do you pay yourself there? So we're going to talk about both of those situations here in a moment. So let's just take a quick example of what that might look like. Let's just say that you, the employee, you work 30 hours. I know a lot of you work more, but I'm just going to go with this example in the moment. Let's say that you're working 30 hours in the business. You need to pay yourself as an employee a fair wage for that. So let's just say that $20 is the fair wage for your area that you would pay somebody to do what it is that you're doing. In which case, you're going to make about $600 a week just from the employee. And then let's say the business at the end of the day makes an additional $5,000. Well, when that business makes $5,000 at the end of the month, profit has three jobs if you've been watching any of my videos. Some of it goes to taxes. Some of it gets retained earnings to stay in the business, to buy more stuff for the business, pay payroll in the future, to buy more products, to do whatever, to grow the business, right? More equipment or anything else. And then the third thing that your profit does is it goes as an owner's draw to you. So let's just say that out of that $5,000, you're going to pocket another $2,000 from the owner. So you're getting your $600 a week as an employee. And then at the end of the month, based off of the profits, you might get an additional $2,000. So what that's going to get you is $4,400 by the end of the month, because you've been paid as an employee and you've been paid as a business owner. Now, a question that I get asked all the time is, well, how do I actually take that money? How am I supposed to get it? Well, it depends upon how your company is set up or how your business is set up. For some of you, you are a solopreneur. Everything that you do just goes straight from the business to your personal taxes. Some of you have a single member LLC in the areas that you're allowed to do that, in which case it's the same thing. You have this protection of the LLC, but it's the same thing. It just goes from your business to you personally. Now, there are a few of you out there that have what's called an S Corp or a C Corp, in which case you're taxed differently. In your case, you actually go on payroll. So money you take is through an actual payroll. If you're a solopreneur or a single LLC that is not an S Corp, you are just doing owner's draws through your business. So depending upon which way you're in is going to differ how you take your money for your employee time. So if you have an S Corp or a C Corp, you are on payroll and you are taking a paycheck, you're taxing yourself, you're doing all those good things. If you are a solopreneur, which is a lot of you guys, or a single member LLC, what you're going to do is you're just going to do weekly draws. So if the employee is making $500 a week, which case you would draw money, $500 for your employee time, quote unquote, and that's what you will do and take out that money. Now, I want you to keep in mind that if you are doing these owner's draws, they are technically part of your profit. You're just taking that money early. So if your business is doing $5,000 in profit and you've taken out $500 for 4 weeks, that's $2,000. Your profit will show $5,000, but you've already taken $2,000 of that $500. Because when you are just doing owner's draw, it does not show up on the profit and loss statement. If you are using payroll, that is coming off of your profit and loss statement. So you actually have a line item for you as that. And that really gets confusing for a lot of people, especially if you don't fully understand your P&L. And I've got other videos that you want to watch to learn how to understand your P&L. Trust me, we talk about them a lot. Just subscribe, like the video and all that good stuff. And I'm sure you will get recommended to read some of those profit and loss things. So the important thing is, how do you get paid first as that employee? That's what we've been focusing on, right? So it's either owner's draws every single week for your employee time. Remember, that's a fair wage for the hours that you work. And then if you are a S Corp or a C Corp, you are pulling out a salary, whether that's weekly, biweekly, monthly, or even annually in some cases where you're doing it on a payroll. Now, the next thing is you, the business owner. You, the business owner who is getting paid, is going to come out of the profits at the end of the day. So if your business has that $5,000 worth of profit, what you want to keep in mind is if you're in the first group of the solopreneurs or the LLCs, you've already taken $2,000 off of that $5,000. But it's important that you remember you've got to set aside taxes off that entire $5,000 of profit. So you might have to put aside another $2,000 into that tax account that you've been setting up because you're a good taxpayer, right? Which drops your profit down to $3,000. You've already taken $2,000, which leaves the remaining $1,000. But you still have some retained earnings. Are you going to put that entire retained earnings back into the business, just leave it in the bank account? Or are you going to put $500 into retained earnings and you're going to take out an additional $500? Just keep in mind, profit has those 3 jobs: taxes, retained earnings, and owner's draw. But if you've been taking money weekly for your employee time, that's already taken off of what that profit is. You're just paying yourself in advance. If you are an S Corp or a C Corp and your business has $5,000, you might decide, hey, I'm going to put $2,000 aside for taxes, put another $1,000 in for retained earnings, and now I'm going to take an additional $2,000 of an owner's distribution. We call it something a little bit different. You're going to take a distribution from your company for your owner's draw for the money that you're going to take. I get this can be really confusing, and I really encourage you that as I continue on, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to put them in the show notes, and I'll do my best to try to answer them either there or in future videos. Now, why is this important? Well, one of the things I really need you to keep in mind when it comes to your employee time is that your employee time really should be part of your cost of goods, because your cost of goods, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more in the next video, and I've talked about it once again before, but your cost of goods is anything connected to you either making or providing a product or service. Now, when you think about it, for a lot of things, if you need labor to assemble what it is that you do, or you need labor to provide the service, there is labor hours involved, and those are your employee hours. And it's important that when you're pricing, that you're making sure you're covering for this employee time. And once again, this is the employee time that's going to make sure that you have the money to be able to pay yourself weekly for the employee stuff that you do. So if you are installing water heaters, part of your costs are going to be the water heater and the supply lines and parts, plus the 2 hours of labor to be able to install that water heater. And then that 2 hours of labor is what you're getting yourself paid for as far as your employee time, which you're paying on a weekly basis. Same thing if you assemble something that it is that you do or something that you create. And I just want to make sure that you make the connection of your employee time to those cost of goods. Now, your employee time might also include doing some bookkeeping. It might be doing some phone calls, scheduling, stuff like that. We call that office administrative type of work. Now, can you pay yourself for that as an employee? Yes. Typically, a lot of business owners are just taking that as part of their normal owner's draw, but you are more than welcome to make sure that you are paying yourself for those hours as well. It's up to you what you're going to pay yourself as an employee. I just recommend that you make sure that it's a fair wage. Why do we want it to be a fair wage? Well, we want it to be a fair wage because at some point, you're probably going to hire someone to do those tasks for you as your business grows. So if you're going to pay someone $15 an hour to do what it is you're going to release, this way you've already worked it into your costs because you're used to taking out that money. You're just transferring that cost from you in your employee time over to this person that you're going to hire. Same thing if the plumber grows their business and now they've hired someone else to come on in and help them install that water heater. So instead of taking 2 hours, it takes them 1 hour. They're just taking one of those hours, giving it to the employee, and 1 hour stays with them, kind of a situation. It's just important that your employee time is a fair wage. I understand that you want to be paid $50, $100 an hour. Well, that's not going to happen because as an employee, you're getting paid the employee fair wage. It's the owner's draw later for all the additional work that you're doing to grow your business, to make profits and everything else. That's where that kind of money is coming out. So just employee time that you pull out on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, you want to make sure is just a fair wage for the hours that you work. And if you work 100 hours a week, 60 hours a week, whatever number you have, then you want to, I dare you, do a quick calculation. Some of you guys are making like $3 an hour, $5 an hour because you're not priced right. You're not making sure that your sales are equal to what it is you're pulling out, or your business has not grown enough to be able to offset the type of wage that you want to take out. It's great that you want to pull out $5,000 a month, but if your business isn't profitable enough to pay you that, then you can't pay yourself that. That's why it's important that we're growing your profits, we're growing your business, growing those profits. So this way you can make the type of money that it is that you are trying to make. And this is one of the main reasons why there's so many of you not getting paid at all, or you're busting your butt and you're like, man, I'm only getting $200 a week, or I'm not really making any kind of money. Because once again, you have not tied the fact that you need to pay yourself into your pricing. And it's really important that your pricing is set to make sure that you are paid as an employee, and then that the business is profitable so you can get paid from the profits as well for your business owner time. I've covered a lot of different things on here, and I hope this makes sense to you. Just remember these key things. You wear two hats in your business, right? You're an employee and you get paid that way, and you are a business owner, you get paid that way. As far as the government's concerned, you're only getting paid as the business owner, right? But the employee time that you're pulling out, once again, we're just pre-pulling it out of your profits because we want to make sure that you're capturing that employee time and you're getting paid for it, because we're planning for the future growth of the business for when someday you replace yourself in that business, right? Plus, we don't want you working for free. At minimum, you should be getting paid for your employee time in your business. If your business isn't as profitable as it should be, that gives you the motivation to grow so you get paid as the owner. But we need to first make sure that you're getting paid as an employee. Once again, if any of this is confusing or you'd like a little bit more information, please make sure that you put it down in the show notes, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll keep talking about this because my main goal, like I said, is to help you grow that business, but more importantly, grow those profits so that you can make a good living doing what it is that you do. And with that, I'm out of here and I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.